In this video, we're going to talk about the Detroit Pistons 2021 and what we expect from them this year. And if you're new to the channel, my name's Chris, this is Craig. We make videos on this YouTube channel all about Detroit sports, usually Pistons and the Lions. We're definitely homers, but we try to keep it real.
That's right.
So please consider subscribing. So if you don't know, Craig knows more about the Pistons than anybody else on the internet. So we're going to ask him...
It's a big statement.
We're going to ask you about 5 questions about the Pistons in 2021. These are like main questions that people will want to know about, that really coming from me as a Pistons fan, but we need to go a little bit deeper. I mean, I'm the fan from like 04 all in, and then the down years I'm like watching but not. You know how that is.
Sure.
So now I'm back. I'm back in. Cade Cunningham, #1 pick. Yeah,
nice.
So I'm back. So I want to be like really back, and I'll be, with his help, we'll be able to understand where we're going in 2021. So first question.
Yep.
Cade Cunningham goes #1. #1 overall. Does that mean he's like LeBron James, or like what kind of level of #1 are we talking about?
Yeah, great question. So here's the thing about Cade Cunningham going #1. First off, we all need to calm down just a little bit. He's going to be good.
Okay.
Like, he's going to be good. Dwayne Casey said at Media Days, one thing I know about Cade Cunningham is he's not going to be a bust. Now, that's not like a glowing recommendation of confidence, but at least it says he's not going to be like Anthony Bennett was for the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Yep.
What was that, like 10 years ago?
Yep.
I mean, dude was out of the league within a year or two. So it's not that kind of a #1 pick. He's going to be good. He is not LeBron James. I want to make that really clear.
Not that transcendent.
No, and could he develop into that? Yes. I'm going to go with the Dwayne Casey answer, which some nights he'll score 7, some nights he'll score 25.
Yep.
The truth is, down the line, it's going to be somewhere in between. And I think the thing to do with Cade Cunningham this year is realize he's a smart basketball player, he's a cerebral basketball player, not elite athletically.
Okay.
Still a good athlete, good length, can shoot. Man, can he shoot, and that's awesome. Smart defensively, so expect a rookie that's kind of ahead of the curve as far as the fundamentals of basketball.
Okay.
But it's still going to take him a little bit of time to understand how to create his own shot, how to drive through to the lane, finish with contact, things like that. Just have fun watching the good parts this year.
For sure. The next question is, speaking of Dwayne Casey, we got to see him a little bit, just see him talk. Kind of felt good to have him out there. As far as Dwayne Casey and Troy Weaver, just that combination, what they've done already and going forward, do you have confidence in what they're doing or not?
Well, whether I have confidence or not,
It's happening.
It's an entirely different team. Nobody is on this team that was drafted or traded for pre-Troy Weaver. Like, we can check the stats on that, but we just traded Sekou. And I'm pretty sure that was the last player that was still on the roster that was drafted by a previous regime. So Troy Weaver, if nothing else, has completely cleaned house. I don't think I've ever seen this. 15 players out in 2 years.
Yeah, right.
And he's just like, nope, you're all done. Everybody is coming in. They're new. And, yeah, I think he's doing a great job.
Well,
I was
going to say, we've talked about it, how in the last 10 years, the NBA was changing. In terms of how you played the game, positionless, and then also how you would rebuild. So we were kind of adding pieces. We thought maybe we were one away. But so I've talked to you about it. You love, like, if we're going to do this, let's get weird and do it the way we're supposed to.
That's right.
He's doing it.
Yeah, I was so sick. I think we're all sick of the Pistons being in NBA purgatory, right? Where they're just sitting there in the in-between.
Yep.
They're playing for the 8th seed. We know they're never going to win. They're getting swept by the Bucks. They're getting swept by the Cavs. They're not going to win.
No.
And you want to watch and you want to get excited. And as much as I love Tobias Harris, and as good of a rebounder as Andre Drummond is, and as much as Reggie Jackson sweats, like, it is all those things, like, you know they're not going to win you a championship. So this idea of getting a #1 pick, this idea of finding guys like Saddiq Bey, Isaiah Stewart at 16th and 19th pick, who are now actually looking like they could be top 10 guys, that gives me good hope in what Troy Weaver's doing for the future.
Perfect. And that's what I was going to ask you
Total
next.
rebuild.
Yep, was those second-year players. As Pistons fans, those are the guys. If we're, I don't know what the expectations are. We'll get to that last. But if we're going to do anything or make any sort of movement forward, those second-year guys got to do well. What's your expectation for all the second-year guys?
Yeah, the second-year guys. I was just reading a Bleacher Report article. It was actually really cool. It re-ranks all the players after they play for a year.
Okay.
So Saddiq Bey is sitting in a similar spot. They're not as high on Killian. They put him all the way back to 25. That's not fair. He tore his labrum. It was a rough first year, and
right.
he can't shoot, which is a struggle. So my biggest question mark out of these three guys is Killian Hayes. I think we all agreed when we drafted him, he had the highest ceiling.
Yep.
But the question now is, if he can't shoot, that ceiling can only be so high. He can pass. He can do all the other things. I have tempered expectations on Saddiq Bey. I think he's going to be a good 3-and-D player. I think a lot of people think that he's going to be this phenomenal player that's going to break out. He's going to be a 20-plus a game guy. I don't see that.
Okay.
But Isaiah Stewart, we all love this guy. The Bleacher Report re-ranked him as he would go number 4 if we redrafted knowing what we're knowing.
That feels good.
Isn't he a Detroit dude?
Yeah.
Like, he's 250, solid muscle, plays as hard as anybody I've seen play on the basketball court. When he goes against guys that try and get physical, like, he gets in their head. He almost got into a couple fights last year.
Yep.
It was hilarious. We love that in Detroit, that blue collar. Yep. And now you hear Ben Wallace is around the facility during training camp, and he's in Isaiah Stewart's ear. Isaiah Stewart's in his ear getting advice. Like, this is
That's
good.
Great. Yeah.
It's Ben
awesome.
Wallace with offense.
That's right. That's scary. Yeah. And so that would be the last question, is just your thoughts on our overall expectations and what that means in this rebuild.
Yeah.
Or what it means just maybe we can make the playoffs. Would it matter? I don't know.
Yeah. So here's what's crazy. If you think about a starting 5, you could have Killian Hayes, you could have Cade Cunningham, Saddiq Bey, Jeremy Grant, and Isaiah Stewart. So all 5 guys starting are all within the last 2 years. Everybody is a rookie or second year minus Jeremy Grant.
Yep.
So there is a bright, bright future. I didn't say a bright right now.
Okay.
So it's exciting to watch. Watch for the development. Are these guys, is Killian Hayes making the right passes? Is Cade Cunningham taking the right shots? Is Saddiq Bey understanding his role? Is Isaiah Stewart continuing to progress in 3-point shooting? That's what's important.
You're right.
I honestly think that's what's important, not the wins and losses. My over-under for wins is like 27, 28.
Oh, okay.
Maybe 30.
But we're yeah. I was gonna say
I'm not excited about wins and losses. I'm just excited to watch the Pistons play. Yep. When was the last time we had a number 1 pick, everyone? It was 50 years ago. I haven't been this excited about a draft pick since Grant Hill. Like, Grant Hill, Isaiah Thomas. Like, these are the kind of guys that we're going where you're just like, they could be superstars. I don't think we've drafted someone like that in years. That's
what, because you're really excited. I'm like, I'm excited, number 1 overall pick. But when you really put it together, what we got this year, the second-year guys, what Troy Weaver's done, it's just like, oh, hey, I could see where we're going here because we've just never, Greg Monroe. You can just name some of these guys where it's like, that's just not going to work. And now we feel like we have positionless basketball. We've got stuff that we can, 3 balls, we can do things. We can do things this year as long as we see that improvement and just getting better.
Yeah. We just have guys that are versatile. It's really that simple. It's positionless basketball, like you were saying. It's versatility, and they're young. So there's going to be good nights. There's going to be bad nights. There's going to be nights where you're going to say, oh, we're so good. But here's the truth. We're a piece or 2 away. Yep. And in Detroit, we've never been a free agent destination. So the idea that we've gotten this much talent, guys like Isaiah Stewart, Cade Cunningham. Jeremy Grant was, a diamond in the rough right now. When we signed him for $20 million a year, I'm like, that's a little steep. Mm-hmm. And now everybody's like, oh, that's a bargain. That's a bargain contract. So it's one of those things where if Troy Weaver's able to get guys with great talent like that, you have the confidence that maybe you could get 1 or 2 more pieces in here.
And there we go.
To be a good competitive team in a year or 2.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. Well, we hope you've enjoyed this video. We want to just get a breakdown of the Pistons, get that started because season's right around the corner.
That's right.
And so we're going to have content of Pistons and Lions, and if Michigan keeps doing well, we'll get some Michigan on here too. We'll see, Wisconsin. But we'll keep updating you, or keep uploading videos, so please subscribe, and we will see you on the next one.
Sounds good.
All right.